Namaste, and welcome to Yoga Today. The last couple of weeks, we've been talking about practical hints of how to lead a meditative life, things that we can put into place to help us be more consistent with our meditation. But today, what we're going to focus on is on meditation itself. And so we're going to do 3 different meditation practices, just so that it's really to do with honing your meditation skills. What on earth are we doing in there as we sit to meditate? What are we doing? So these are 3 different, slightly different practices, and you might find that one suits you better than the other. But this first one is from the Buddhist tradition, and I think this is from Thich Nhat Hanh. And he says, never underestimate our low tolerance for discomfort and the importance of vulnerability. That's just so beautiful and powerful. As human beings, we have a low tolerance for discomfort. We don't like to feel uncomfortable. And so our usual coping strategy is to distract ourselves. And meditation is the opposite of that. Well, meditation is about sitting with who you are. And I love that bit where he says about the importance of vulnerability. And just a couple of weeks ago, we talked about it, that Swami Yateswarananda said, without vulnerability, there's no authentic relationship. Why? Because if you're not vulnerable, you never let somebody see who you are. And so people love us, and somewhere inside of us, we think, well, if they knew what I was really like, maybe they wouldn't love me at all. It's a human fear. And so it's a brave soul who allows themselves to be vulnerable, to be open, to open up to that, the deep heart of your nature. So when we sit together to meditate, we get to touch that part of our own nature that we hide, and to open that up and allow spirit to move more fully and freely through that part of us. So very often what happens is we sit to meditate, and it's a task, it's another job to do, and we sit and we try to meditate and we get irritated with ourselves. And what we don't do is to sit and discover that part of you that resists and resents and is uncomfortable. And so yogis would say, unless we can do that, unless we can be vulnerable, we're not open to the curtains of indifference that distances us from the suffering of others. It's amazing, isn't it? If you have never truly opened yourself to your own areas of pain and suffering, then how are you going to relate to somebody else if your whole life is spent not being true to your real self? Then why would we notice when somebody else is suffering? So let's take a few moments now, and we're going to look at 3 different meditation practices. Meditation is a more formal way of lightening our load, opening it up, letting spirit move through it instead of pushing it down inside. Excuse me, I have a little frog in my throat this morning. And so I think it was Thich Nhat Hanh who said, when you meditate, be precise, but be gentle. Let everything you do in meditation be soft. And I think it's really fascinating because most of us are either precise or gentle. We're not both, whether it's with ourselves or with other people. And so this, he's asking us, when you do a technique, do it with precision and care, but do it without judgment and pressure. Do it with this gentle quality. And so that's a lot of what we're going to practice in our meditations today. So for all of these, can we show up to meditate and be both precise in what we're doing, but gentle with ourselves? So if you want to get comfortable, make sure that you're sitting straight with the spine straight as best you can. And take a couple of breaths, a couple of deep breaths. And the first is a breathing meditation. And as you breathe out, feel as if you're touching the breath as it goes out and sense it dissolving into vast space. Don't clutch at it as it goes. Don't try to catch that breath. Just touch it as it dissolves out into vast space and feel that you are relaxing outwards with it. And for the in breath, there are no instructions, no practice to do. Just wait for the next exhalation and touch that as it goes out. Relax out with it. We're going to do that for the next 5 minutes or so. And just gently letting that following of the breath go and return to breathing normally. When we meditate, we become very aware of our thoughts and our feelings. And you may notice that you're stringing thoughts together. They follow one after another, making a story that's not based on reality, but based on your thoughts. And very often you can't find the beginning or the end to them. Yogis would say it's more of a mind drift than a story. And so a yogi becomes very familiar with their own mind and how it works. And if you get good at this, you can let go of these thoughts that just keep bubbling up in the mind all the time, unbidden. You know, it's like somebody's turned the heat up on the water and poof, 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 the bubbles just keep coming off and coming off. Well, meditation turns the heat down and the water can become calm again. So this next practice really is learning to deal with the thoughts. So again, closing your eyes. And as these thoughts come up into the surface of your mind, it can take you a minute or two to realize, oh, there's a thought. I was just thinking then. So when you see it, just label it thinking. That's all you have to do. Thinking. And yogis would say, just labeling it is like touching that bubble with a feather. And as you do that, that thinking bubble dissolves into space. And if you still feel after that in any way agitated or uncomfortable, or any feelings in there that are bothering you, just allow the feeling to sit. Let the thoughts go and let the feeling just be. You know, we have that low tolerance for discomfort. Sit with it a while. And when thoughts come up again, can you see them for what they really are? They're not a big deal, they're a bubble with no substance. Relax and let them go. And we'll do that practice for about 5 minutes. Just seeing a thought arise in your consciousness and label it thinking, the touch of a feather on a bubble. And sit gently with anything that remains. Hi. And the final practice, take into mind someone you love and sit them in front of you and say to them, I want you to grow and unfold for your own sake, not to serve me or my needs. I love you. I feel at one with you as you are, not as I need or want you to be. And I'll just say that again. I want you to grow and unfold for your own sake, not to serve me or my needs. I love you. I feel at one with you as you are, not as I need or want you to be. And centering in your heart, just allow your heart's love to radiate out. Now drawing the love from your heart back into your heart center. And let any insights from these meditations transform you. We don't want to visit, we want to live in a new consciousness. So may these insights and blessings come down through the whole of our being, through the buddhi, the seat of intuition, the mind and heart, the breath, the life force, and into our physical bodies, so we can express these qualities out in the world. And tensing and relaxing your arms and legs, and then just tipping your body from side to side until you're sitting up straight. And dropping your chin to your chest, either just moving your head from side to side, or if you have no neck problems, making circles with your head, first in one direction and then in the opposite direction. And gently opening your eyes. May we remember that whatever your meditation practice, that when you come to approach it with precision and with gentleness for yourself. Namaste.